Hi everyone, welcome back to Kirklees Guitar School. In today's riff lesson I'm going to teach you the main riff for the Allman Brothers Jessica. It's a great one to learn because it starts to explore the idea of triads and using some caged chord shapes a little bit higher up the neck. If you head to the first link in the description you can download a tab that accompanies this lesson completely for free. With over 100 other guitar tabs and lessons that I've put here on YouTube, there's all the resources that you can get over there. You don't have to download anything, you don't have to sign up for anything, it's all there for you to grab. There's also a couple of other bits that you can check out, such as the academy that I have over there, some courses that I've put together, or you can even book a Zoom lesson with me if you fancy it. All that info can be found on my website, first link in the description. So what are we up against today? This is what we've got, this is what it sounds like. So it's not, it's all kind of, it's very major, it's very chipper, it's very, very happy. Let me just play that up close for you. Now what I'm seeing in this, it's all kind of based around this sort of, this D major shape here at the top of the neck. Now I say it's a D major shape, but we're in the key of A. Now what I mean by that is if you've studied your caged chords, it's all based around this little triangular shape that we know as a D chord at the bottom of the neck. Now you can move this. This is a movable shape, and although it looks like a D, the chord changes the further we move it up the neck. Now instead of playing it on fret 2 and fret 3, if I play it on fret 9 and fret 10, that gives us a little A chord, does that. And it's all based around that. So if we have a look at the first bit of this riff, you can see we've got 9 on the G, 10 on the B, 9 on the high E. Now rather than holding the chord shape and playing it, I'd much rather you used your index finger for the 9s, your middle finger for the 10, and you treat it more like an arpeggio rather than a chord, okay? Because then we can take as middle finger and play the 10th fret here. Try those first notes out of that first bar for me, please. First 4 notes. Moving into the second bar, we're going to bend it up a full step. Now with the middle finger, it's going to feel quite uncomfortable, and I'm afraid there's no kind of hack or fix to that. We just kind of all sort of acknowledge that it sucks, right? So you're going to bend it up, but then you're going to keep the ball in the air, and once it's up there, you're going to pick it again, and then almost like you're letting air out of a tyre or a balloon, you're going to let it back down. So you pick it on the way up, pick it on the way down, and then go back to that 9th fret on the same string, and then 10th fret on the B. Now this 10th fret's got a little line that comes across it over there. Now this is called a tie. Now what that means is we're going to hold this 10th fret is actually going to sustain over into the next bar. Can you see how this has brackets here? Now what that means is you're basically holding on to this note, and it's borrowed from the previous bit. You don't have to pick this note again. I'm not explaining that very well, am I? This note, you just need to hold on to it from the previous bar. You don't need to play it again. Okay, so we've just played. We're then going to play the 9th fret with the index finger, and you see that wavy line? That's called vibrato. And what that means is I want you to give the note a wobble to give it a bit more of a kind of like vocal quality, okay? We're then going to do a position shift, and we're going to play the 7th fret with the middle finger on the same string, on the G string still, but you're going to pull off to the 6th fret, middle finger to index finger. We're then going to play the 7th fret again, and go up to fret number 9. Now it's kind of weird how it's all on one string, but it feels right to me playing it like that. I can't describe it. I can't think of a better way to play that, to be honest. Carrying on. So very similar, we're kind of working up through the arpeggio, but there's no bends this time. So you've got 9, 10, 9 of the little A shape. Bar 3 in this is exactly the same as bar number 1. You walk back down it. Basically just walking up and down it to the 7th fret. Now that 7th fret wants to be played with the middle finger. Again, that's sustained from the previous bar. You don't need to play it again. Now rather than pulling off to the 6, you're going to play, just pick it, 7, 9, like you've done. Then with the middle finger, you're going to play this 7th fret. We haven't played this note before. This is the 7th fret on the D string. And it's an A note. It's a root note, is that? Now looking at all that, then you can see how it's all very. It's such a tasty little lick, and I think speaking a little bit broader about this kind of stuff, we spend a lot of time playing in minor keys or using minor pentatonics, and it's really refreshing to come across something that's major and kind of still has the sort of, it's got this really cool kind of satisfying thing about it. And I think every guitarist, particularly around the level of guitarists that I teach and most of the people that watch me here on YouTube, you should be spending a lot more time playing major scales, major pentatonics, because we're more inclined to play the minor stuff more often, simply because all the cool blues licks are in there. But then you look at people like the Allman Brothers, who kind of have that almost like little bit of a country thing that comes into sort of the rocky and bluesy stuff, and it's so refreshing. It's, I mean, and who you smile, you can't play that and not be. And you could even do the Top Gear thing. Whatever it is. Yeah. This is meant to be a little bite-sized lesson just to give you a taste of it. It was not sort of overly comprehensive, but I just want you to kind of dip your toe in and kind of see what it's like, and see whether you want to pursue the full thing anymore. And that's kind of the purpose of this riff stuff. But if there's any other Allman Brothers that you'd like me to have a look at, or even a full sort of breakdown of this song, let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to head to the website and make sure that you get the tabs for this for free, and maybe have a look at some of the other lessons that I've got to offer. And I will see you next week for another guitar lesson. Thank you so much for watching.